Hello, welcome again. We're here with our monthly movie roundup. These are supposed to be more frequent, but it was a bit of a dry month. We found some great stuff anyway, but not really all at once. So we're just gonna begin. So first up, found the Blu-ray of Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, which a lot of people are kind of divisive on, but I personally really enjoy it. And I mean, this series has much worse sequels to its name. So I was happy to find this for, it was about $10 used, which is about half of what you can get it for. So it was a pretty good deal. So it just has the same extras as the regular DVD that came out. So there wasn't really anything new on this release, but it'll match the rest of the ones that I have on the shelf. So plus I can sell my old DVD now. So now, some people might get mad at me, but I have never seen The Highlander, and so I don't actually know if it counts as horror or not. I think it's more of like an action movie, but they had the Mondo steelbook Blu-ray for like $10 at this place, and it was clearly some kind of pricing mistake. So yeah. So I mean, I'll watch other stuff too. Uh, just kind of depends, like a thing of opportunity. And plus, a lot of people love this movie, so yeah, we'll get to finally see what all the fuss is about. So we actually do have more horror, I promise. So I don't know how people feel about the newer George Romero stuff, but we found Diary of the Dead when we were out and about looking around. So I think this is some kind of sequel to his Land of the Dead, which I saw for the first time only recently. Um, but I mean, I have a hard time imagining that would be terrible. So I know there's a lot of contention, let's just say, about some of Romero's like later zombie movies. But I'm optimistic for Diary of the Dead. And actually, Survival of the Dead is the sequel to Diary of the Dead, and I found this one first. So it was on like crazy sale, so it was like, well, I might as well check it out. And so I tried to look into where the continuity it fit in, and it was like, oh, I gotta go see Diary of the Dead first. So that's actually why we picked up Diary of the Dead when we went looking for it. But I mean, this comes with a Romero commentary, so I'll at least get to hear more of his voice. Next up, we have a bunch of Shout Factory stuff, which it was a really strange month for used Shout Factory titles, because my normal places had like several of them. Like a lot of them were ones that I already had, or maybe wasn't necessarily all that excited for. Like I can't just buy everything I think looks cool, even though that's what we've been doing here at the crypt for much too long. So first up was we found the Troll 1 and 2 2-pack, which I sort of have this on DVD from, I think it was like that, what is that over there, that MGM 2-pack. And I don't think there were a whole lot of extras on that, so kind of interested to check that out. I mean, a lot of people love Troll 2 just because of the terrible movie factor. Like, it didn't quite do it for me, but, it comes with... One of the cool things about this is that it comes with Best Worst Movie, which is the documentary about Part 2, so I'll at least get to enjoy that. And, the first Troll movie is a surprisingly good fantasy movie, like, an unreasonably good fantasy movie, which totally holds up on its own, so I'm happy to be able to learn more about that. And this was like 15-ish. Turns out this is in production still, and I was kind of misled on it being out of print, but, we've got it now. We can sell off our old DVD. It'll be a good time. So another kind of deviation from horror. So we found RoboCop 2 with the slipcover. So what I've been doing with these Shout Factory titles is, even if they're films I'm not necessarily a big fan of, like if they're older releases and they have the slipcover, like I just pick them up in case I change my mind later. So I still have a couple of movies that I really wish I'd had that policy on, like Day of the Dead, for one, and all the Sleepaway Camps. Like, I have Sleepaway Camp 2 with the slipcover, but I don't really want to crack it open until I have, 1 and 3. I could go into a whole digression on the Sleepaway Camp movies, but anyway, so yet another shout title, After Midnight, which this was, I think, under $10, which is pretty good for that. So I was kind of like, oh, we'll check that out. So and it looks pretty cool. So I'm not actually sure if it's like a slasher or what. They kind of imply that, and I love slashers, so hey, hey. You know, worst case scenario, I mean, we got a pretty good deal on it. So this is something I didn't find on my own. So don't get too mad at me, but I have not really been all that into the Scream series. So I think I've seen the original, I've seen all four of them maybe once, and I don't really remember what happened. And so I mentioned that to my brother, and I got this from him for Christmas. So it's the 5-film like box set. So Scream 1, 2, and 3. And I was able to find 4 on my own. It's off somewhere. Like I covered that and picking that up in another video. But yeah, it seems like an okay set. So it comes with the main films, and I think each one has their own extras. So plus a couple of documentaries, which apparently some of the people I follow on Twitter were involved in. So I'm always happy to support, people I know, like one way or another. I mean, I know they don't know me, but that's what the whole community thing is about, right? It's about everybody having fun with what they love. And so I picked this up because it was very cheap and because I really want to see it after I revisit the first Scream. So as terrible as the Scary Movie series got with just like garbage jokes and like awful misses, I still really enjoy the first one as just like an almost scene for scene parody of the original Scream. And so that's gonna be my double feature at some point, where we just like throw on Scream and then check this out like immediately afterward, because it was like I wanna see Scary Movie again after I know more of like the horror tropes and stuff. So that'll be a fun time. And I think that was it for videos that we found in the last 2 or 3 weeks. So, well, okay, we did buy the How to Train Your Dragon 1 and 2 steelbooks, but those definitely aren't horror and don't count, so we didn't feature them. But, so, well, hopefully you like what we do here. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll be back with more stuff pretty quick. Later.